What's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing another episode of my 100 Films in 100 Days series. And today we're watching a very, very important one. And funny enough, I'm actually watching this because I got a tattoo of the main character of this movie. And I had never seen this movie. And when I got the tattoo, I told my tattoo artist, I'm like, oh, I've never actually seen this movie. And one of the people who was in the room next to me, who was also getting tattooed, was like, dude, you know these are permanent, right? And I was like, yeah. And my justification for it was, I've seen enough of the movie to potentially get a tattoo for it. Because, truth be told, this is a movie that if you've been on social media at any point in the last 5 years, you've seen bits and parts of this movie. Like, I know a lot of the jokes that are going to be in this film. I just don't know where they're going to come about, what the overall storyline of the film is. So, that being said, we're going to go ahead and watch it. It's on HBO Max for anybody who wants to watch along. I'm going to go see it, and I'll be right back with my initial reaction, thoughts, and review.
Dun, 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 dun. 100 films in 100 days.
Okay, and I gotta say, I did think that movie was pretty good. I've seen a lot of people say over the years that this is like a top 3 Batman movie. This is one of the most accurate Batman portrayals I've ever seen. And I gotta say, for the most part, I really agree with it. I like the way that this movie handles the self-referential comedy in here. I think that this movie retroactively made me dislike the Deadpool movies a little bit better because I feel like they do the parody aspect of the character significantly more interesting. And I think that one thing that I really like about this movie is, for the most part, it's making fun of Batman, but it's also staying so true to the character, so true to the lore, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I also think that this movie's pacing is a masterclass when you have so many different things going on in this film, but it doesn't at any point feel overbearing or overwhelming, because we have this character jumping around from the existential dread of what is a superhero supposed to do if there aren't any super villains. We have him dealing with the fact that he's now a parent, which I think for the most part is played out for jokes, but also there are a couple of moments where like he realizes that he has responsibility now and he needs to take care of Robin, and I think that that works. I think that there's so much humor throughout this entire film, but every once in a while when there is a more serious moment where Batman's kind of having to reflect on the fact that he always kind of pushes away anybody who ever loves him, and he has this like weird thing where he needs to be alone 24/7, and he's like constantly just trying to like be a loner and be moody and just have all these different issues, but he comes to terms with the fact that Alfred is like, you need connections, you need family, you need to interact with people. And I like it. I think that this movie actually was a little bit more serious than I was expecting it to be. There were a couple of moments in here that actually felt very sincere, which I was not expecting at all. I was expecting this to just be a comedy all the way through, and it pretty much was. But I do like that the scenes that needed to be serious had time to breathe, and it was absolutely fantastic. I love some of the small elements of this being almost like a rom-com. There were a couple of love scenes in there, and I think that overall the way that this Batman responds to having a potential love interest is great. I like it because Batman is a very masculine character, and he has a tendency to kind of like have to make everything a competition, and the fact that the girl that he has a crush on here is somebody who is the chief of police and is trying to, you know, also save people, Batman kind of gets like over defensive about it, and I think that that's an accurate to Batman thing. So overall, I like the characterization of the character here. I think that the couple of action sequences we get throughout this film is fun. I think that the Lego movies always have a really fun way of doing action sequences, and I think that it's really fun here. The animation style is very pretty, very cool. I feel like there's only so much you can do with the Lego world, and they do a really good job with it. I think that something that I absolutely love about this movie, Lego is one of the few companies that has the rights to so many different IPs and stuff that you can potentially do cool crossovers. Like we see Lord Voldemort in here, and we see, I'm not going to remember the name of it, the giant bad guy, is it like Sauron? Something like that. The giant bad guy from the Game of Thrones movies is also in here, and I just think that that's really cool. We get to see a bunch of like kaijus and stuff taking on Gotham City, and I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities with that. Like, I don't understand how we've gotten, like, it's been 20 years? Not 20 years. It's been about 18 years since the first Iron Man movie, and the MCU has been absolutely huge. The old Spider-Man movies making superheroes like a really big deal. Marvel and DC have been going head-to-head for forever, and we've yet to get a Marvel versus DC video game or movie that's like a Lego thing. I don't understand how that has yet to happen, and maybe it's because they technically couldn't do it, but like also they made a lot of Lego Batman stuff, and they've made a lot of Marvel Lego Avengers things, so like why can they not just come together? I feel like it'd be really cool, and I would really love it if they came together. But that being said, overall, I really like this movie. I think that all of the meta jokes work incredibly well for me. I love the scene where he goes to the Fortress of Solitude and they're throwing a little Justice League party. I love some of the cameos there. The voice cast for this film, very, very interesting. In fact, I feel like I could see a lot of these questions being in like a, what is it called? Like a trivia game where they're like, hey, what actor has played Superman that you wouldn't expect to have played Superman? And then it's like the voice actor for Superman in this movie. I can't remember who it was, but there was a lot like that. Like when I was looking through the cast and I saw who played Barry Allen, I was like, oh, that's an interesting choice. And then I saw who played some of those other characters, and just all throughout, I was like, oh, this is really interesting. Was it Channing Tatum? I think that's it. I think Channing Tatum plays Superman in this movie, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And it's just one of those things that's like you wouldn't really expect, so that's just another fun thing here. And overall, I just think this movie was ridiculously fun. I don't think that it's one of the greatest movies of all time, but I do think that it does justice to the character. It does a really good, interesting way of like making fun of pretty much every iteration of Batman that has ever existed. I think that Michael Cera as Robin is phenomenal casting, and it kind of makes me sad that he never actually got to play a Robin in live action, because I feel like he would have absolutely nailed it. I think that Will Arnett, I believe he's the voice actor for this, absolutely nailed the role as Batman, and I just love how overall this movie gives us a campy Batman movie, which we never do anymore. Batman's always like super serious and brooding and over the top, and this is just more fun and endearing, and I really liked it. And I love the relationship that he has with the Joker in this movie, because honestly they're two characters who kind of like constantly need to be fighting each other for them both to feel purpose in life. And I like the way that they address that, because almost every single time they've done a Batman iteration, they've also done a Joker iteration, and it's one of those things where it's like, yes, they're arch rivals, and yes, they're the biggest enemies that any of them have ever had, but it does kind of feel kind of silly that we've had like 9 Batman actors or something like that, and we've also had to have had 9 Joker actors as well. But that being said, overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I don't really have a lot of flaws with it. I feel like for the most part, it's a movie that feels like it should give you whiplash with how many different themes that they have going on, but it doesn't at all, because it gives them all just enough time to breathe. So I really like this movie. I think that it's properly rated. All the people who are hyping it up as one of the best Batman movies, I can see that. I need to watch some of the old Batman movies before I can fully rank all of the Batman movies, but I definitely think it would be up there for me. But that being said, if I had to give this movie a score on a scale of 1 to 100, I probably would give it about a 90. I think that it's insanely funny, and I think that overall I could see this being a comfort movie, very entertaining to rewatch. A lot of the jokes are so quick, blink and you miss it kind of jokes, that I genuinely feel like this is the kind of movie that you watch it 4 or 5 times and there will always be jokes that you kind of missed the first time. So I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so that being said, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching, and if you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Pow, pow, pow.